I worked in Cincinnati, and I love Cincinnati. That I can tell you. Love it. Very, very special place to me. Thank you, everybody. Wow, what a turnout this is. This is big stuff. And a poll just came out. Wall Street Journal, NBC, we're leading Ohio by 1 or 2 points, but we're going to win Ohio. We are going to win Ohio. Thank you, everybody. I gave a speech earlier today on the lies, corruption, and false accusations of the crooked Hillary Clinton campaign and the mainstream media, which they control and use quite viciously. They want to distract us from WikiLeaks. It's been amazing what's coming out on WikiLeaks. They want to keep us from talking about the issues. We will not let that happen. We're going to talk about the real issues, which is jobs and illegal immigration and our depleted military and taking care of our vets. And our Second Amendment and our Supreme Court judges. And the repeal and replacement of Obamacare. Don't forget that. Which is a disaster. Every day between now and the election, we're going to talk about our plans to make America great again. In 26 days, we're going to defeat the corrupt establishment, and we are going to save the United States of America. We are going to save the United States. And we are going to show the whole entire beautiful world how much we love our country. It's going to be, again, America first. It's been a long time. America first. – 21,000 people tonight. Can you believe it? 21,000. And you got 7,000 people outside trying to get in, but they're not going to make it, I guess. We're going to renegotiate our absolutely terrible trade deals, reduce surging crime, cut taxes and regulation, lift the restrictions on American energy, end Common Core, reduce the cost of college, make child care more affordable, and repeal and replace that horrible thing, the so-called Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, which is not affordable at all. And the governor of Minnesota just minutes ago announced that the Affordable Care Act is not affordable. And Bill Clinton admitted the other day that it's a crazy system. And I've been saying this for years, and Bill Clinton suffered last week. He made that statement, and he actually told the truth. He had a rough evening, I want to tell you that. I've been talking about how it's not going to work before it was even passed. And it was passed, if you remember, it was passed with a big lie 28 times. Keep your plan, keep your doctor, over and over and over. And we have a real mess on our hands where the cost is going up 72%, 78%. Next year it'll be over 100%. It's a disaster. We've got to repeal it, replace it. It's no good. Our president is incompetent. Believe me, he's incompetent. And every time I see him lately, he's campaigning for crooked Hillary. He shouldn't be campaigning. He ought to be working on the border. He ought to be working on illegal immigration. He ought to be working on bringing our jobs back from Mexico and all of these places that have taken our jobs. He is a disaster. Very importantly, we're going to get our economy growing again and growing fast. My economic agenda can be sent, and you know this, and I think you've heard this. We want an agenda that really is represented by what three words? Go ahead. Jobs, 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 and people aren't going to take our jobs, and countries are no longer going to be taking our jobs. There will be consequences. There will be a price to pay. And one of the hardest hit has been the state of Ohio. Manufacturing jobs, your steel jobs, your miners are going to be protected. Your miners are going back to work. That I can tell you. This election is a simple choice. It's a choice between putting our faith in failed politicians, and she is a failed politician. Look at what she's done. Everything she touches, I'm going to be very nice, turns bad. See? I've learned. Or putting our faith in you, the American people, which is what we're going to do. This is a great movement that we've created together. A movement like has never been seen in this country. A movement like they've never, ever seen in this country. Never, ever seen anything like this. And on November 8th, we're all going out to vote. And we're going to have a tremendous victory. I think far greater than some people are even predicting. Because we're tired of corruption and we're tired of incompetence. And that's what you get. Nobody wants 4 more years of Obama. And with Hillary Clinton, it'll even be worse. The Hillary Clinton documents released by WikiLeaks just a little while ago make it more clear than ever just how much is at stake on November 8th. The corruption of the Clintons knows no limits, and we've known that for a long time. Today, WikiLeaks released new emails from early 2015 from Clinton campaign staffers discussing how friendly Hillary was with Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Oh, I'm shocked to hear that. This was only months prior to the investigation of her illegal server and the email server that gave foreign governments access to our confidential information. Think of this. This comes on the heels of the disclosure, and you saw this disclosure. The Clinton campaign was colluding with the State Department over the release of her emails, and revelations that the Clinton campaign was colluding with Obama's Department of Justice over the investigation into Hillary's secret server. There has never been anything like what's happening in our country. We've never had a thing like this before. And it's a disgrace, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And like I took Hillary and told Hillary the other day at the debate, which we did win quite easily, I will say. Look, she's highly overrated, believe me. You know, she couldn't pass her bar exam in Washington, D.C. Couldn't pass it. She failed. She's an overrated person. How about during the debate? I'm standing there at my lectern, not moving, and she walks in front of me. Right? She walks in front of me. And she answers the question. Then she walks right back, right in front of me. And the next day I read in the newspapers that I invaded her space. Do you believe this? Me. But we have another debate coming up, and we'll do the same thing to her. Yesterday, new disclosures were made showing again how Hillary Clinton's pay-for-play works. In 2010, Saudi Arabia was looking to buy arms from the United States. In order to get the approval, Clinton's State Department had to sign off, and they couldn't get it. So what happened? What did Saudi Arabia do? They paid Bill Clinton a fortune to do a speech. Later that year, Clinton's State Department signed off on arms deals between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Shocking, shocking. Hillary bleached and deleted 33,000 emails after, not before. Before would be bad. After is criminal. It's criminal. After a congressional subpoena, then made 13 iPhones disappear, some with a hammer. Has anybody used a hammer on their iPhone? He did. What business are you in? Huh? I don't want to ask. I don't want to know. She did that to cover up her crimes. The WikiLeaks documents show how the media conspires and collaborates with Clinton campaign, including giving the questions and answers to Hillary Clinton before a debate. I don't get them. I want them. I'm angry at the Republicans. They don't get me the answers and the questions. The documents show how the DNC honestly betrayed Bernie Sanders. Poor Bernie, he sold out. If he wouldn't have sold out to the devil, he would have gone down in political history as quite an important man. But he sold out, and his people are not happy. And now with all of these emails that they're finding and all of these documents, it's not a pretty picture for Bernie. Looks bad, looks bad. They really did rig the system on Bernie Sanders, I'll tell you. They rigged the system. The documents also show the Clinton campaign says she has no core. She has no message. What are we going to do? She's got no message. I have a message. You know what the message is? Make America great again. It's a good message, and that's what we're doing this for. I didn't need this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, was having a lot of fun. This isn't fun. You know, many of the people, although I must say, it sort of is fun, but many of the people in this room were making more money 18 years ago than they are now, and they're working harder now, and in many cases, you have 2 jobs. So you're working harder, you're older, and you're making less. But I'm older, and I'm working harder also, so I don't feel bad for anybody in the room. We're all in the same boat. But it's going to pay off because we're going to turn our country around. We're going to turn our country around. What Hillary is instead is the hundreds of millions of dollars she raised from Wall Street special interests. In fact, the emails show Hillary has a private position for Wall Street and a public position, a fraud for the voters. She says this to Wall Street. She says this to the voters. The emails also reveal how the Clintons ripped off the wonderful people of Haiti, the wonderful people of Haiti, doling out favors for their friends and special interests. Americans have had it with the years and decades of Clinton corruption. And I will tell you what happened with the Attorney General of the United States. Her airplane in Arizona when he was going to be playing golf. Very hot. I don't think he was going to be playing golf. Just happened to meet her. Happened to be on the tarmac. Said, oh, gee, let's say hello. Stayed for 39 minutes and talked about golf and his grandchildren. He didn't talk about golf, and he didn't talk about his grandchildren, unless it was a minute or two. I would think he probably talked about appointing her as the Attorney General if Hillary wins this election. And you're not allowed to do that. And they were very embarrassed, and they thought it would be something where they could sneak on and sneak off. You know, I've had a plane for a long time. I've never had anybody stop it, get on, come off. On the tarmac, doesn't happen. And then you have the director of the FBI and some of the greatest people in the world. Some of the greatest people of, really, in our country. Some of the great people are in the FBI. And based on what I read and see and hear, they are so angry at what took place, where they caught her cold. She is a corrupt person. She should not be allowed to run for the presidency. She's a corrupt person. She should be locked up. She should. And if I win, I am going to ask my Attorney General to appoint a special prosecutor to look into her crimes, because what she did is a disgrace to the United States of America. And we're also going to look into the investigation. In other words, we're going to investigate the investigation, because what happened is a disgrace. Other people, their lives have been destroyed for doing so much less. And everybody knows it. You know, when you delete something, or when you don't provide the documents requested, after you get a subpoena from the United States Congress, that's a criminal act. That alone, forget about all of the other things which are even worse in many ways. But that alone is a criminal act. And now, as you heard last week, 2 boxes of information and emails are missing as of last week. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? What are we living with? What are we living with? This will finally be the year where the American people can say enough is enough. The Clintons are the past, but we are all going to be together a very bright future. The new emails also show members of the Clinton team viciously attacking Catholics and evangelicals. True. It's just the latest evidence of the hatred that the Clinton campaign has for faithful people in our country, faithful Americans. Hillary Clinton thinks you're deplorable and irredeemable. And irredeemable might be worse. Means you can't help yourself. I call you hardworking American patriots, and together we are going to save our country. We're the smartest, we're the best. We're going to unify our country. These emails also reveal that Clinton believes in global governance and unlimited immigration into our country. Speaking in secret to a foreign bank, Hillary Clinton said, "My dream is a hemispheric common market." There go your jobs, the rest of your jobs. With open trade and open borders, okay? She didn't want to hear that. She didn't want that to get out. Behind closed doors, when she thought no one was listening, she pledged to dissolve the borders of the United States of America. That's what's happening, folks. That's what's happening. We are going to have strong borders. We are going to have a great wall. And who is going to pay for that wall? 100%. They don't know it yet, but that doesn't matter. No, the Mexico's fine. I was there 2 months ago. I met with the president of Mexico, very good person. And you know what? We're going to have a great relationship with Mexico. But right now, their leaders are too smart for our leaders. We have massive trade deficits with Mexico. They beat us at the border. They beat us with trade. We have massive trade deficits with China. They make our product and other countries. We don't make things anymore, essentially. But we're going to start making things again. We're going to start making things again. We're going to make them in Ohio, believe me. We're going to make them in Ohio. Hillary wants to end forever the American independence that our soldiers fought and died for to keep and protect us. Either we win this election or we lose our country, and that's what's happening. That's your choice. It's as simple as that. A Trump administration will secure and defend our borders. Hillary is so radical on immigration as Secretary of State, she refused to make foreign countries take back their criminal aliens. I don't know if you know what's gone on. They would catch a murderer. They would catch a drug lord.